Hello everyone, this is Enea here, and in today's tutorial I'll teach you how to create this flower string art figure in Affinity Designer. Alright, so to get started we go to File New and we create a new composition. We give it 2000 by 2000 pixels in dimensions. We go to the Margin tab and we uncheck Include Margin and we click on Create. And then we make sure that Snapping, Snap to Grid and Snap to Object Bounding Boxes are enabled. And then we're going to set up the guides. So we go to View, Guides, and we add horizontal and vertical center guides to the composition. And then we're going to set up the black background. So we take the rectangle tool, we set the fill to black and the stroke to none. And then we draw a black rectangle all over the composition. And then we're going to set up the grid. So we go to View, Grid and Axis. We check on Show Grid to make it visible. And we set the grid line color to white. And then we go to the Basic tab. And we set the spacing to 50 pixels. And we close the Grid Manager. And then with the Rectangle tool again, we set the fill to none, the stroke to white, and the stroke width to 1 point. And then we go ahead and we draw a rectangle of 500 by 500 pixels in dimensions. And then we take the rectangle and we position it in a way that its right extremity matches the vertical axis and its bottom extremity matches the horizontal axis. And then we're going to start connecting its equidistant points along the grid. So we take the pen tool, and then we connect its first point on its top extremity to its first point on its right extremity, and then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we connect its second point on its top extremity to its second point on its right extremity, and we press on Escape to unselect. And then we connect its third point on the top to its third point on the right. And then we press on Escape to unselect. And then we continue the process to connect all the lines. And we don't forget to press Escape after each connected line. Alright, so now we have connected all the lines. The next step is going to be to remove the left and the bottom extremity of the square. So we select the square with the Move tool. And then we go to Layer, Convert to Curves. And then with the Node tool, we select the top left node. And then we go here to Break Curve, to break the square at that point. And then we select the bottom right node. And then we'll go again to Break Curve, to break the square at that point. And then with the Move tool, we select the bottom left part of the square, and we delete it. And then here in the Layers panel, while holding Shift, we select all the elements, so all the lines at what remains of the square. And we press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then we move it to the right, until its midpoint snaps to the vertical guide. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate the group. And we flip the duplicated group horizontally. And then we select both groups. And we press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then we scale it upwards, until it has a height of 800 pixels. And then we press on Ctrl J to duplicate it. And we flip the duplicated group vertically. And we move it downwards until its top extremity snaps to the horizontal guide. And then we select both groups and press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then we go here to enable transform origin to have the rotation center in the middle of the composition. And we press on Enter to bring out the Move Duplicate panel. We check on Duplicate, and we set the number of copies to 3, and the rotation angle to 45 degrees. So now we have created all the elements that we need for the figure. The next step is going to be to add colors to it. So we select all the groups and press on Ctrl G to group them together. And then we're going to take the gradient tool. We set the context to stroke and the type to radial. And I will set the color in the middle to orange. And the one at the edge to red. And then if you want to make it more impactful, we can make the stroke thicker. So I will set it to 1.5 points. And also we can hide the grid to see the final effect of the figure. Alright, so that was it for this tutorial. You learned how to create a flower string art figure in Affinity Designer. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and learned something from it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Affinity Designer tutorials in the future. And until then, see you next time, bye!